Hey everyone, I'm Emily Chang and you're watching channelAPA.com. Colin Hearts Kay is a wacky romantic comedy. It's based in Brooklyn, and it's about a cartoonist named Colin Jensen who basically tries to win back his girlfriend Kay, who I play. Kay-Ho, the character that I play, is actually kind of similar to me. She's a little bit ordered, and she's got her stuff together in life. She's a plan for everything, and she's actually, I think, an editor in the movie for a cookbook publishing company, but on the side she also runs a cooking blog. So I think she's trapped in this day job of, you know, an office 9-to-5 job, but what she really wants to do is be a cookbook author. I have to say what usually takes the cake is something that's creative or, you know, untraditional or uncliched. So yes, the single rose doesn't work, fellas. I'm thinking specifically of one of my friends who, when he proposed to my best friend, he went and got these books made where on the spine of the book it said, you know, her name, "Will you marry me?" on each book. And then he went to Strand Bookstore, which is this great used bookstore in New York City, hid them in the like special books section, and then brought her up there where they had gone on their first date. This is like 2 years later. So he brought her up there and said, "Oh, let me just check this out. I need to pick up some special book or whatever." And she's walking through the aisles and happens to see these books. It says like, you know, "Will you marry me?" I think like going out of your way like that, it doesn't have to cost money, but going out of your way like that and doing something really creative and unique is definitely what takes the cake. The most challenging part, probably just what Ben mentioned, which was that it was stretched out over a really long period of time. And so as an actor, it was difficult to remember what I had done 6 months ago and to try to keep that continuity in there. But luckily, you know, we were able to go back and do that. And but also another part that was hard was just some of the really having to dig deep to remember how you feel when you have this relationship that's slipped away and that, you know, is maybe worth saving and you're going to go all out to try to save it. I had to, you know, to do some kind of emotional work for that, and that requires looking back into some past relationships. So that's pretty tough sometimes. My favorite part, probably the most fun part for me, was cracking a bunch of eggs all over my head. There's a scene where she's real frustrated with their state of the relationship, and it's kind of like wacky. It's not quite reality, but it's supposed to be her web show. And she's making a souffle, and she takes an entire dozen eggs and then cracks them all over her head. So for us, it was a one-shot, you know, one-take deal where we had like, it was really, really hot that day. I think we were running late, and, you know, we basically had like a dozen eggs. And I didn't want to have to, like, if I messed up, I would have to go and wash my hair, dry it again, and then do it all over. So it was just sort of like, all right, this is your one chance, gotta crack all those eggs. So, and it was really one of the most fun things I've done. You wouldn't think cracking yolk all over your face would be fun, but it is. So right now I'm just kind of adjusting to LA and, you know, going on auditions and meeting people and stuff like that. But as for my own stuff, I'm also a musician, and actually one of my songs is in the movie soundtrack, hidden in there somewhere. So I'm actually finishing up a music video that I shot for that song, which I wrote, and also working on a new album with a friend who lives in Chicago who runs Actually Records. So we're working on, it's pretty interesting. There's two concepts, but one of them, the one that I find really interesting, is doing covers of canto pop songs. But doing it, his aesthetic is very like kind of electro pop indie, almost, I don't know what you'd call that, ambient music stuff. So changing that super cheesy 80s pop and flipping it over. So working on that, and otherwise talking with someone about a feature, but nothing solidified yet. So lots of little things, lots of little seeds in the works. So hopefully things will come from that.